Virgos, welcome to Vivid Vibration. My name is Christina. I hope that y'all are doing well. Virgs, y'all have the Mother in the Mirror, the Eternal Child, the Poet, and the Medallion. And I feel like there's just this idea of like holding on to an identity that just really did not suit you. I mean, the mother is the idea of holding on to the identity of your children, gaining your identity out of other people, or, you know, like trusting that that relationship has been fostered in the way that it needed to be, and letting it go. And I feel like there's just an idea here of really needing to release an idea of an identity that kept you very fractioned. Like if that's who you are. I don't know, I think of this friend that I have, bless his heart. He's I love him, but still. But he's got that like that energy, that very like macho, you know, like this is who I am kind of energy about him. And it does kind of feel like this like this energy of like holding on to an identity that really just prevents you from engaging in anything else because you're clinging to something that's such a fractured idea of you. And I think, you know, I just feel like saying, because I know I do this, like, you know, like as a woman and as a mother, you know, you just kind of feel like if I'm not actively in that role in the way that I'm supposed to be, then, you know, like, is it okay for me? You know, like, will my children think that like, if I get in a relationship that's me abandoning, you know, like I have like this fear of like constantly feeling like this fear of being comfortable in life because I don't want to do anything that makes them feel like they were replaceable or that they were abandoned in some form or fashion, you know, and it's held me back in a lot of ways. You know, and I've had to really, I think just even these past like 6 months, understand that and come to terms with that and figure that out for myself. It can play out like however it plays out for you. I was just kind of getting that super macho energy. But it feels like if that's what it is, you know, if it's a super macho energy or if it's a, you know, a role in your family or a role in a relationship and like, this is who I am in this relationship. And, you know, like you respect my relationship or you don't, I don't know. Like, I just think of like, I feel like this was in the Gemini read too, but this, and you do encounter couples like this, and I just don't even because no. But like when you're dealing with a couple who's in a really unhealthy, like toxic relationship, you know, like if you are working with someone, say like in a professional environment, and they've got, you know, like their relationship in normal, healthy worlds, you know, with normal, healthy people, like you can interact with people who are in relationships and nobody's threatened by it. You know what I mean? Like they understand that, you know, like we're people, we interact, we, you know, we engage in conversations, we have thoughts that are enlightening, you know, like, and usually if you're in a healthy relationship, all you want to do is go home and share it with that person. You know what I mean? And it's not a threat, it's an expansion. And I feel like there's some people here who have been dealing in relationships that were just always very threatened by everything, to the point where they would like demand isolation, you know, and which is again not healthy. And you can't do this with them because of whatever, you know, because they all have their reasons. But I just feel like for a lot of y'all, it's just been dealing with a really unhealthy relationship that like you belong to me. And since you belong to me, you can't talk to anybody else. And that's gross. The Poet, the Eternal Child, and the Medallion. I just kind of get this feeling that like there was a part of you that always knew that wasn't your limitation. That wasn't where you were actually going to be capped out. But I think that there was also a part of you that was just like terrified, because I mean, the Eternal Child is very curious, but this also kind of has a feeling of like in the corner of your bed at night, just wondering, you know, like, is this really real? And I think once you realize that you let go of that identity, you let go of that, like this person owns me, or this person dictates who I speak to and when I speak to them and how I speak to them. And you know what I mean? Like, because again, in a healthy relationship, it wouldn't be a concern because they're not like the person doesn't have any motivation against their partner. Do you know what I mean? Um, if it's a family, like broken home, and it's like you can't talk to you can't talk to your mom because whatever. You know what I mean? It just like it can play out in so many ways, but I just feel like that identity that was being held on to really was keeping you in the dark, but there was a part of you that just kept like everything's going to be okay. It's fine. She's got it. It's fine. They've got it. It's fine. He's got it. It's fine. And just kind of like holding on to this hope. And I think seeing your way out, and actually being able to like find the beauty in it, because when we hurt, all we want is for like somebody to kiss it and make it better, right? And I just kind of feel like this sense of like a kissing it and making it better. Like, and it could just be you know what I mean? Or it could be, like something that you weren't able to engage in, something that you were preventing yourself from, and you finally do it and it just feels refreshing. It feels like it's allowing you to actually go for what it is that you want. Because I feel like whatever it is that you weren't allowed to do, you weren't allowed to do it, but you really wanted to do it. Okay, Virgs. Ace of Pentacles. Queen of Pentacles, Nine of Wands, Judgment, the Moon, the Page of Cups, the Nine of Swords, the Emperor, the Six of Swords, the Eight of Wands, and the Devil. Hot damn. Well, I feel like there's definitely an awakening to how it is that you were being manipulated and how it is there was lack and where it was that it was coming from. And as a result of this judgment, I think doing away with whatever that was and going in a different direction and decide, like with a decision that like whatever this new opportunity is, it feels like it's so much bigger, like it's so much more. I feel like you're going from a job that pays you like, $50,000 a year to a job that pays you like $100,000 a year. You know what I mean? Like it's new, but it's bigger, it's better, it's more established. It's, I don't know. It's just kind of like, but I think that there is a sense of really having to like intuit your way to it, because even though there is a decision that's being made and there's something that you're really going for, I feel like you don't feel completely prepared, because I think that there is a part of this energy that still is, like of a mentality that like, what if it's not real? Like what if it disappears? What if it just falls apart? What if I feel like a lot of what ifs with this card. And I think all of these what ifs are why there's this, I almost feel like this, like just rip the Band-Aid off. Like the shock of the cold water, if you jump in, is not 10 times as bad as it is if you tiptoe and you just like make yourself freezing over and over and over again every time you go deeper, right? I just feel like this, like just jumping in. But like before you get there, you're really, really nervous. But then I feel like this, like I see what I want and I'm just jumping in. I kind of feel like saying, because I know that that was not okay. And if that was telling me that this isn't okay, then this is probably actually okay. Sometimes how to, like what to do by doing the very opposite thing that people tell you to do. You know what I mean? You're like, okay, well, this person said I should do that, which means I need to do this. That's kind of what that feels like. I love it. Okay, Virgs. The Magician in the Tower. I mean, know, again, that identity that left you feeling like there was lack, left you feeling like you were being manipulated, really understanding how that was playing out. And I just feel like that, well, if that's what that person said, then that's what I need to do. It needs to be the exact opposite of what they said. Because the very person who I was supposed to be able to trust was the very person I couldn't trust, because they took advantage of an opportunity to gain trust and used it to manipulate, thinking that they could just get me to do what they wanted me to do. And it was, I just feel like there was just this, like, whatever there was, like, you can taste the magic in what is. Okay, Virgs. Let's see what else we get. The moon again. Well, yeah, because it's that idea of like I had to trust my intuition. I have to follow my intuition, because I can't trust these people. You know, which means that I have to trust myself. Which means I have to start figuring a lot more things out. And my first point of figuring things out, my first decision of action, is to do the opposite of that. The Seven of Swords, you know, again, I just think that, like, I'm not going to do what they're saying that I need to do. You know, like, that leaves me feeling like I'm being manipulated and oppressed, and like there's just a lot of lack, and I need to go in a different direction. You have the Queen of Cups, the King of Pentacles, and the King of Swords, and the Knight of Swords. And I just feel like there's something happening. There's a message coming, or something or a message you're taking. I don't know. But it just feels like a very solid decision that comes with an emotional wealth, a financial wealth, like a wealth of truth, a wealth of wisdom. The Knight of Pentacles, I don't know. I feel like you have a lot of major energy here. You know, you have the Queen of Pentacles, the Queen of Cups, the King of Pentacles, the King of Swords, the Emperor. There's a lot of high level energy here. There's a lot of very, like, decided, aware energy. But it also, all of this decision and all of this awareness comes with an intuitive motion away from the lack and toward the abundance. Trusting yourself, because you can't be trusting these other people who will just say whatever to get you to do whatever. The Mountain. I mean, the Mountain is the idea of, like, the value within. But again, I just feel like all this within, intuition, following yourself, trusting in your value, trusting in your knowing, because you really ought not to be trusted in other people's knowing when all they're doing is creating lack and abandonment and chaos. Because all that leads to is a nasty end, colored in the lines with some nasty colors. And I think that you are ready to, like, intuitively call on your magic, intuitively stand in your power, and you're still figuring out what that is, and that's okay. You don't have to have it all figured out, but you won't ever develop it or, like, learn it or understand it if you don't tactile it. You know what I mean? Like, get in there and start trying. And I feel like that's what you're doing, Virgs, and I love it. I hope this resonates with y'all. Thank you so much for spending some time with me. Please give me a like, share, and subscribe if it did resonate, and I will see you all again soon. Bye.